Translate the following verbal statement into an algebraic equation and then solve. Use x for your variable. So we have the sum of 2 times the number and 5 is 8 more than the number. So the key to these sentences is knowing what these words mean. So what does the sum mean? Well, when it says the sum, that means it's going to give us 2 different terms that are added together. Okay, so if it says the sum of, we know immediately following that is going to be the 2 terms that are added together. So now I'm going to have one term plus another term. So the sum of, we have 2 times the number, that's going to be our first term. So 2 times the number is just 2x. Notice and is the word that separates the 2 terms. So I have the sum of 2 times the number and 5. So there's my second term. If you practice a few of these, you'll see this is common. They use the same language. Every time it says the sum or the difference, it's going to write directly following that the sum of, it's going to give you the 2 terms, or the difference of, it'll give you the 2 terms that are subtracted for difference, or the sum, the 2 terms that are added. In this case, because it's the sum, it'll be added. Okay, so we have 2 times the number and 5, or the sum. Now is, what does is mean in math? Well, is means equals. So the sum is, so equals 8, so I'll just go ahead and write that, more than the number. When we see more than, what does it mean? If you have 8 more than someone, well, it's 8 added to, and then the number, we'll just use that same variable. We don't know what it is, so just x. So to me, that's the hardest part, is just getting it set up. But once we have it set up, we use those words and then we can just solve it. So we can see on each side it's simplified. Let's go ahead and get our variable terms on the same side. So we'll minus x from each side. So 2x minus x, we get x plus 5 equals 8. Now we want to isolate our variable term, so we minus 5 from each side. If it helps, you can do, I know some people like to do the line down the equal sign so that you can kind of see, keep it balanced on each side of that equal sign. So those cancel. I get x equals 8 minus 5, or x equals 3 for our final answer. And you can always test this in the sentence and make sure it makes sense. So the sum of 2 times the number, so 2 times the number would be 2 times 3, or 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. And that equals 8 more than the number. So 11 is equal to 8 more than 3. That works because 8 plus 3 is 11. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Reach out if you're still feeling confused.